Okay, I think we are live. Hello, world. It's Mr. FLIXTER. In this episode, I'm going to talk about the animated How to Train Your Dragon movies, including the short films. What's your favorite How to Train Your Dragon movie? Did you know there's 6 short films too? Let's start the show, shall we? Roll the intro. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on my video. Hello, world. I'm Chris Maitini, aka Mr. FLIXTER.
Mr. FLIXTER.
So, before we get to the main topic, we had a major death this week, and we had a major birthday today. So let's get to it. And then, of course, I'm going to do the weekend box office update. So, if I can just share the screen. Let's see, here we go. Recently, Lalo Schifrin passed away. In case you don't know who that is, he was a very famous composer from Argentina. Let's just go to some of his credits, shall we? Oh, too far. Okay, here we go. One of his most famous works is the Mission Impossible theme, which of course was later used for the movies. Here's some of the other things that he's done. Okay, let's go down a little further. Oh, too far. Oops. Here's the personal information. He was born on June 21st, 1932 in Buenos Aires, and he died on June 26, 2025 of natural causes. Let's go see all. He also did the score for the Rush Hour movies. Bruce Lee, in his own words, 1998, when he talks. The Deadpool, the 1988, that's funny. Not the Deadpool you're thinking, though. Even did Walt Disney Comedy and Magic Review. Wow, 85. Good year. Let's just see what the first thing he did was. I like seeing what they did first. As you can see, he goes way back. We're in the 70s now. We got Sanford and Son. We got Starsky and Hutch. So you may know a lot of his songs. And of course, there was Planet of the Apes. There it is. I was looking for that one. That's the show, but I'm pretty sure he did the movie too. He did Enter the Dragon, but was uncredited for that. There's the TV show for Mission Impossible. Oh, 1966, 1973. Wow. Let's go down a little further. Let's see, what did he do first? Oh, he did the theme song for the Man of Uncle show. That's cool. Cincinnati Kid. It looks like his first thing was Jazz Casual in 1961, a TV show, and then Rhino. But it says uncredited, so what was he credited for? I'm not sure why they listed it if he's not credited. I guess he worked on it but wasn't in the credits. Let's see, it looks like The Liquidator was the first thing it was officially credited for, as far as movies go, in 1965. Let's go back to the top. So let's just get a moment of silence for Lalo Schifrin. Schifrin, please. Thank you. Now, we also had a birthday. I wanted to end this segment on a happier note. But Mel Brooks just turned 99. Can you believe it? There he is. So, go away. I'm not advertised. I'm not sponsored. Here we go. There's his picture there. So let's go to some information first, just like before. He was born on June 28th, so today. Today's his birthday, 1926. Could you imagine how much the world has changed since he was a kid? I mean, he's lived through 2 centuries. That's amazing. Oh, look at that. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. Wow. And he's 5'5". I didn't know that. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. So let's just take a look at his body of work. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's start here. Here we go. So here's some of the things he's done. Here we go. Kind of froze there for a second. Oh, I didn't know he was in Toy Story 4. Meliphant Brooks, that's hilarious. I knew he was in Hotel Transylvania. Those are good movies. He plays Dracula's father, Vlad. Oh, I didn't know he was in Dora the Explorer. That's cool. Yeah, he was in Peabody and Sherman. He's more known as a director, but he does star in films too. I'll look at the stuff he directed a little bit later. But he's got a lot of cameos, as you can see. He likes to star in his own movies too, like Dracula Dead and Loving It, Robin Hood Men in Tights. He has done some of the funniest movies. History of the World Part 1. Oh, I didn't know he was in an episode. Oh, he was in a lot of episodes of The Electric Company. Wow. Blonde-haired cartoon man. Oh, okay. That was before my time, so I didn't really see that show. You learn something every day. Young Frankenstein. Blazing Saddles, of course. Oh, I think I missed it. He also did Spaceballs. And then, oh, there it is, 87. Yeah. President's Groove. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Go back. Oh, too far. I'm not sponsored. Get out of here. Okay, so let's go back up. Let's just do the stuff he directed. So there's 11 movies. Oh, I only want director. There we go. Because he writes a lot of his own movies too. Oh, it looks like the last thing he directed was Dracula Dead and Loving It. I thought there was something after that, but apparently not. Yeah, there's Robin Hood again. Spaceballs, History of the World. Anxiety, Silent Movie, Young Frankenstein, The 12 Chairs, Blazing Saddles, The Producers. That was the first thing he directed, 1967. So happy birthday, Mel Brooks. He's aged pretty well, too, for someone in the 90s. All right, now let's look at this box office. Hold on. Let's go back to me for a second. Here we go. Okay, so that concludes the birthday and funeral? No, not funeral. Okay, well, that includes the big event part section. Now let's go on to the weekend box office. And I'll give you an update. Oh, you see what I did there? Oopsie. You might have lost me. Hold on. I forgot to share my screen. There we go. Hold on, let's change that. There we go. Now I'm in the corner. Let's go here. Okay, weekend. Down. Today's the 28th, so let's go June 20th to the 22nd. Okay, so this is just domestic for now. I'll do the international afterwards. I also have the air conditioner going, and I'm kind of nervous about the noise, so if you can let me know in the comments if you could hear it, that'd be great. A little further. Okay. At number one, it's opening weekend. The How to Train Your Dragon remake made $36 million. I'm sorry, this is the second weekend. My bad. It's made 160 so far. 28 years later, came in second place. This was the opening weekend for it last weekend. It made $30 million. I think that's the highest for the franchise. And it's in 3,000 theaters. And it looks like How to Train Your Dragon's in 4,000 theaters. So it got a major release. Both of these ones did. Wow. Okay. Third was Elio, the new Pixar movie. This only made $20.8 million. That's got to be like one of the lowest grossing Pixar movies for an opening weekend. That's terrible. It's even in over 3,000 theaters too, almost 4,000. Wow. So there's no excuse for why. I guess it wasn't advertised well. I mean, it doesn't look very good to me. I think it looks kind of meh. I was just going to wait to streaming. So I guess everyone's got my mindset. So let's just see. It might get some legs later on. If it gets good word of mouth, people might go see it. But we'll have to see in the next coming couple of weeks. At number 4, we have Lilo and Stitch. Looks like this one dropped 2 spots. It was at number 2 last week. It made another $9.7 million, which is a little bit of a drop, but not too bad. Still going strong, I'd say. It's in over 3,000 theaters, and it's made $386.7 million. Wow. It's been out for 5 weeks now. So it's doing better than I thought it would. I've heard mixed things about it, though. So who knows? I'm not watching it. At number 5, we have Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. I still have to see this one. I'm looking forward to it. It's been out, last week it was at 4. It made another $6.4 million. Bit of a drop, but not too bad. It's still in 600 theaters. Misspoke there. And it's got $178.2 million. It's been out for 5 weeks, too. So it's doing pretty good, but I know this one's had a high budget. I don't know what the budget is exactly, but I know it's got a long way to go. If it's at least 250 million, it might even be a $300 million movie, but don't quote me on that. That's purely speculation. At number 6, I have The Materialists. Last week it was number 3. It made another 5.7 million. It dropped a lot though. That's almost half. Wow. and it's in almost 3,000 theaters. So it's got $23.8 million. It's been out for 2 weeks. That's not bad for that kind of movie. Number 7 was Ballerina. This is the John Wick spinoff. I'm looking forward to this one too. This looks awesome. Last week it was number 5, so it dropped 2 spots. It's got 4.5 million last week, and it dropped over 53%. Wow. Damn. But it's still going strong for 2,500 theaters. I mean, it still got $51 million. It's been out for 3 weeks. Again, that one seems like it would have a bit of a higher budget just because the nature of the movie. So it's going to take a lot to get that back. But it didn't seem like a strong start to me, in my opinion. Number 8 is Karate Kid Legends. Pretty self-explanatory. Last week that was number 6. It made another $2.3 million. It's still going pretty strong. It's in over 2,000 theaters. It's made almost $50 million. It's been out for 4 weeks. Okay, I'm not sure why that happened. Oh, fix it. Okay, yeah. Cool. Where was I? Oh yeah, number 9. Final Destination Bloodlines. This one I did see. I reviewed it on my channel. If you're interested, you can watch the video for that. It was on number 7. Oh, don't highlight. Don't highlight. Okay. Last week it was number 7, so it dropped 2 spots. It made $1.8 million. It dropped over 50%. So that's not good. But it has been out for 6 weeks. So actually, that's not too bad if you think about it. It's still 6 weeks out. And it's still making this kind of money. And it's got over $134 million. That's the highest grossing in the franchise. So good job, Final Destination. I highly recommend it. And number 10, we have a movie called Kubera. I'm assuming that's some sort of foreign film. It made $1.7 million for 500 theaters. Wow. That's pretty amazing. It was the opening weekend, too. Look at that. And then just out of the top 10, a few things got bumped. We have The Phoenician Scheme. That's the new Wes Anderson movie. We got Life of Chuck. That's based off a Stephen King book. And then we have Sinners. That's the new vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan. So Sinners is probably not going to be in theaters very much longer. I'd recommend go seeing it while you can. It was pretty good. It's in 536 theaters and dropping rapidly. It lost over 415 theaters last year. Wow. Karate Kid lost over 1,000 theaters. Wow. So yeah, that's the weekend box office. What is going on here? Oh, I'm done with this. Okay. I'm back. Remove. Oh. Okay. I'm back. Oh, what's happening? Why is my mouse being all screwy? Oh, okay, hold on. Remove. Move this here. Okay, we're good. Okay, so let's get to the main event, shall we? Okay, so on Letterboxd, I have it already set up. Let's go to the screen share one more time. But I want to be in the corner. Oh, no, cancel. Okay. There we go. In the corner. There we go. Now let's go here. So I made the list already. This is the order of release. This isn't the ranking yet. So here's how they came out in order. There are 9 in total. At number 9, I'm going to leave this one right where it is, because How to Train Your Dragon, Snuggle Talk Log, isn't really a short film. It's actually one of those Yuletime fireplace log type videos with How to Train Dragon characters. So it's not even a movie. Well, I guess kind of, but it's a half an hour long. So basically, it's just a Yule log, and you can see snow in the windows in the background, and it's all Christmas themed. And then Gobbert's making this like mutton stew on the fireplace, but as he's doing it, he comes on and off screen, and other characters go back and forth on and off screen. But a large chunk of the movie, you're just watching this fireplace. And it's a half an hour long, so there's long segments where there's nothing going on. So you can put this on while you're like wrapping presents or like decorating the tree. It's more like a holiday type of movie kind of deal. It's got Astrid and Hiccup's kids in it, which names are Zephyr and Roughneck. They get introduced later on, but I'll get to that. Because this movie actually takes place between the epilogue of How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World and the conclusion of that movie. It's kind of confusing, I know, but it takes place 10 years after the dragons left, pretty much. So the kids are a little bit older. They get to spend time with the kids. They get to spend time with the Nightlights, too, which are Hiccup and the Light Fury's kids. I don't think the Light Fury ever got a name. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. So it kind of felt like false advertising because I didn't know what it was at first. Oh, by the way, Snuggle Talk is like their version of Christmas. So it plays like this Celtic Christmas music in the background too. Like Good King Wenceslas is one of them. So it's cute. It's worth checking out. But for a grade, I'd have to give this one. Let's see the picture. Yeah, I'd have to give this one a small popcorn. So that is Snuggle Talk. Not really a whole lot to say about that one. So now at number 8. At number 8, let's go up a little bit. Where is it? I'm gonna put Legend of the Bone Napper Dragon. Now, there's a few reasons why. First of all, this one's super short. It's only 16 minutes long, but it's fun. It was directed by John Puglisi. Sorry if I butchered that. It was written by Peter Steinfeld, and it's cool because it's not just the 3D like computer animation CGI. It's also got these segments where it's got hand-drawn 2D animation. So I like how it combined it. It goes back and forth. Basically, this is Gobber's story. It tells the story of how he's had encounters with this dragon that everyone thinks is mythical. They don't think this one's real. It's called the Bone Napper Dragon. And it's really cool. Basically, it wears the bones of different other dragons in order to make like a shield of armor for itself. Pretty clever. I love the designs of the dragons and the stories behind them. That's one of the perks of this movie. It really, of this franchise. It really focuses on the dragons. It makes you want to live in this world and explore it and learn more about these mythical creatures. It's awesome. I love dragons. Who doesn't love dragons? But yeah. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Basically, Gobber's house burns down. And then, since he can't convince any of the other Vikings to come with him on a quest to take down this dragon once and for all, or just capture it, he just wants to prove it exists, really. He's not really out to kill it. This takes place after the first movie. This was the first short film in the timeline. Lost my spot, sorry. Okay. So he gets the kids to come along. And then he tells these different stories. And when he tells the stories, that's when it does the hand-drawn 2D animation. So it's cool how they combine those two. We've also got an interesting backstory for the titular dragon, too. It introduces a new one to the franchise. And the animation It's on par with the original. It looks just as good. So those are a few reasons why I like this movie. It's fun, it's short, sweet. My official grade. Oh geez, I'm sorry. I've been meaning to go on IMDb for these ones. Let's go back. I didn't share the screen. Oops. Okay. Oh, I did. I am sharing screen. That's right. Okay, cool. Let's go back. Maybe. There we go. We're here. Okay. Don't know why my mouse is lagging so much. Here we go. I'm not gonna bother doing the Smoggle Tog one. Let's do Legend. Yeah, Legend of the Bone Napper. Because I want you to see this dragon. It is pretty cool. I wanted to make a point to show off the dragons of the Bone Napper. Okay. And go down. There it is. Yeah, this came out in 2010. I'm not sure if I said that before. So maybe, okay, no clips, but I can show some pictures. Here we go. Okay, there's one of the sheep. There's Gubber. There it is. That's the Bone Napper dragon. And you can see, like, look at the textures of the sand, and Gubber's clothing, even the bones. The animation's pretty good for a short film. This might have even been the pilot for the first TV show, but I'll get to that too. But it's kind of confusing. There's the kids. Let's see. There's another picture of the Bone Napper. Awesome. Fish snakes. That's the hammerhead yak. Here's some of the animation. Here's the Chudy. That's cool. I can show this off. That's Thor. There's the Chudy version of Gopper. Even the hand drawn stuff, it's really good. Then there's another picture. The Bone Napper, hand drawn. More 2D animation. I love the art style too. It really does remind me of like 90s cartoons. So I'm not sure if that was intentional, but it's a nice touch. There's a young Gobber. And the voice cast came back too. All right. You get the idea. Close. Okay, so let's go back to Letterboxd. All right, so that was number 8. And number 7. Again, not much to say about that one because it's so short. I pretty much just covered everything about it. At number 7, I have Dawn of the Dragon Racers. Where is it? There it is. This came out in 2014. Number 7. Okay. So, where is IMDb? Dawn of the Dragon. There it is. Cool. Oh. Sorry. Wrong button. Okay. No. No. Cancel. Okay. Okay. I'm here. Don't worry. I didn't leave. Okay. Let's take a look at this poster. It's kind of funny. sheep are all part of the game. That's basically the origin of how the dragon racing started. So this one takes place just after the first one, in between the second one, I believe. Let's just see if I can find it. Yeah. This takes place just before part 2. I meant to show you the poster for the other one too. So I'll just do that real quick. Go back. Go back. Go back. This is a pretty cool poster. I love movie posters. And I make it a point to show them off. Here we go. It's fun. It's cool. Okay. Let's close this one. Close. All right. Now let's go back. Dawn of the Dragon Racers. Oops. I'm not the best typer. Here we go. So there's a few reasons why this isn't higher up on the list. Okay, well, I'm going to add myself. It was directed by Elaine Bogan and John Sanford, and it was written by, well, Christina Cowell wrote the book series. There's like 12 books on how to train a dragon, but this one was written by Art Elder Brown and Douglas Sloan. She still gets the writing credit because she was the author of what it's all based on. So the animation here has improved a lot. It's on par with the second movie. Again, you can see with the textures, like the stone, the wood, the clothes, even like the leather. Actually, I think that's dragon scale, but still. She's got fabric. Tough nut. There's a dragon. You can really see the scales and the horns. So it looks pretty good. But one of the problems is not everyone in the voice cast returned for this one. And you can tell that some of the characters sound off. So let's just go down here. Oh, I'm not sponsored. Go away. Okay. Like Jay Baruchel and America Ferrera, they did come back, and so did Christopher Mintz-Plasse, TJ Miller. But Gobber this time is voiced by Chris Edgerly, and it was Craig Ferguson at first. And Stoic is Gerard Butler in the original, but it was Nolan North here. And you can tell they don't sound quite like the characters should sound. And even Rough Nut, she was recast too. Andrea Vilmelune. Sorry, I butchered that. And Zach Perlman was Snotlout instead of Jonah Hill in the original. So that's what I'm talking about. They don't sound right. I don't think those characters were recast very well. And it does take you out of the experience too. Let's go back to that poster. Here we go. Okay. A few other things too. It's all about, well, they're arguing about who invented the dragon racing first, like who came up with the rules, who thought of the idea, all that stuff. And then Astra tells a story about this regatta that they're hosting about boat races. And then eventually it does turn into the competition because all the other people are more interested in the dragons racing than the boats racing. It's actually kind of a funny story. And they ultimately come to the conclusion that it was Tough Nut who came up with it. So it's a fun story, and it spends more time with the side characters to really get a time to shine. Because in the movies, you spend more time with Hiccup and Toothless and Astrid, and her dragon, Stormfly, which is a deadly netter, and Toothless is a night fury. I just want to make sure that people understand what I'm talking about. Stormfly is there. It's kind of a mix of like a parrot and like a triceratops. Okay. So, my official grade for Dawn of the Dragon Racers. Sorry, I almost said Raiders. Dawn of the Dragon Racers is a medium popcorn. Oh, and this one is, I'm not sure if I said the time yet. I don't think I did. This one's 26 minutes long. So almost half an hour. Short and sweet. Just to be clear, too, I don't think any of these are bad movies. I just like the other ones more. Let's go here. Okay, I'm going to check to see if there's any comments. Oh, okay, I got 4 comments. Wow. Sorry, people. Start at the beginning. Oh, it's Sabrina. How nice. Okay, let's take this off. Oh, okay. Oh, what is going on? Remove. Okay, cool. Sabrina says, Kathy Bates also celebrates her birthday on June 28th, 1948. Happy birthday, Kathy Bates. Wow, thank you. So glad you mentioned that. And then she also says she's 77. And then Sabrina also says Cobra is actually an Indian crime drama movie. Oh, well, thank you, Sabrina. I appreciate the information. So let's go back to the screen share. Oh, okay. And then put me in the corner. Corner. Come on. There we go. Cool. And now let's go back to Letterboxd. Okay, so number 7, medium popcorn. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure if I rated that one either. I had the grades written down. I made sure to mention them this week, and it still happened. Figures. Okay. Legend of the Bone Napper. I give that one a medium popcorn too. So Snuggle Togwog was small. Bone Napper, medium. Dragon Racers, medium. We're all caught up. We're good to go. All right. And number 6. I have, go higher up. There it is. Book of Dragons. Jula. Number 6. Yeah. Oh, no, wait. Number 6. Yeah, there it is. Book of Dragons. Okay. Let's go to IMDb. Not going to forget that this time. Just when you think you work all the kinks out on your routine. Gotta love live TV. Oh, didn't click it fast enough. Here we go. Book of Dragons. This is a cool poster too. It features a lot of the dragons that are in this one. Come on. My internet's being slow. There's the poster. Cool. Yeah, there's the book, obviously. And then here's some of the dragons that they talk about in this movie. This movie is 17 minutes long. It was directed by Steve Hickner. It was written by Steve Hickner, Bart Coughlin, and Joshua Pruitt. And it starts with a recap of part 1, but then it's pretty cool because it leads to a first-person POV. You're walking around Burke, and then you go into like their main hall, and then you meet the kids, and you meet Gobber, and then they starts showing you the book. And then when it does that, again, it combines this computer animation, excuse me, with 2D animation. And the way it does it is it looks like a pop-up book. So I'll show you the pictures in a minute. This one features most of the original cast. Actually, I think they all did come back. But this one's more about Gobber's great-great-great-grandfather. Yeah, 3 greats. Cool. His name is Bork the Bold, and he's the one who actually wrote the book, and he was the first one to have these interactions with these dragons. And he's part of, well, the main reason why the people have the information they do about the dragons. Now, some of the ones they mentioned, well, the ones they have here in the poster, I can just, okay. This one up here is the Timberjack. This one here is the Whispering Death. This one here, I can't really tell what that's supposed to be from that angle. But this one's a Skrill. No, sorry. Wait. Yeah, that was a Skrill. And then this one, to me, that kind of looks like, oh, okay, sorry, this one's the Skrill. And then this one, down here, if I can move my mouse, that's a Thunder Drum. So my apologies. Skrill, Thunder Drum. Whispering Death, Timberjack. And they actually have a book of dragons for how to train a dragon. You can order it, or you can buy it. So let's go down. Excuse me. I'm not sponsored. Go away. Okay. Excuse me. Let's look at some of these pictures. Here we go. So yeah, that one's the Thunder Drum. See, it's a better look at it. There's Stormfly. She's what's called a Deadly Natter. That's the Scaldron. This one's cool because it's a water dragon. Instead of breathing fire, it spits boiling hot water. Could you imagine? That's what I mean. All these dragon designs and the stories behind them are so inventive. They're so imaginative. And each of these movies have that sense of wonder in it. That one there is called the Snaptrapper. Kind of looks like the Snapdragon flowers. That's what I mean. It's very clever. Oh, Deadly Natter. That's what I mean. She looks like a parrot and a triceratops combined. And it's cool because she can throw these quills that she has on her tail and her wing. And they regenerate. That one there, I don't know what that is. There's the Night Fury. That's toothless. This one's blank. Oh, advertisement. Okay. Oh, there's the Thunder Drum again. See, that looks like a Skrill. Sorry. There's the book. There's different classes, and they all explain it. There's the Bow and Napper. Okay, then it just goes around. So yeah, that's that one. Book of Dragons, short and sweet, 17 minutes long. Back to Letterboxd. So, my official grade for this one. Book of Dragons. I gave this one a large popcorn. It's very fun just watching all these different types of dragons in their environment, and how Bork the Bold interacts with the dragons is really funny too. Most of this is hand drawn, so it gets bonus points for that. I'm a sucker for hand drawn animation. So at number 5, or halfway through, I have The Gift of the Night Fury. This is another Christmas movie. For some reason, there's 3 How to Train Your Dragon Christmas movies. Not sure why, but I'll get to what the other ones are. Well, I already touched on one, the Snoggletog log. But this is where the origin, well, not the origin, but this one introduces Snoggletog. Where is, oh, here it is. Couldn't see it. Okay. Back to the top. Gift of the Night Fury. And one of the things I love about this one is how the title has multiple meanings. Because really, it's all about the gift that Toothless gives to Hiccup. And that, I don't really want to spoil that because it's just so special. Like this one is so emotional. This one makes me cry like the feature-length films. Oh, look at that, even on Christmas. So here's a little preview for it. Hopefully I don't get dinged for copyright claim. The other ones didn't do that. And then I'll click on the poster. The animation's great. There is no bad animation in the How to Train Your Dragon universe, that's for sure. It just feels so lived in and rustic. Kind of like how Star Wars, or even Game of Thrones, the way they set up those worlds. And those worlds feel like they've been lived in for so long. They actually feel old and ancient. It's cool how it's a period piece too. All these take place in medieval times. Well, except for there was a TV show that took place in the present day, but I'll get to that too. So this is a cute little thing. It introduces the Yak Nog. It looks disgusting. And then throughout the other Christmas movies too, they have this running gag about how gross the Yak Nog is, but everyone keeps drinking it for some reason. It's funny. And this one has so many baby dragons. Because really, that's what it's all about. But before I get to that, let's go to the poster. The poster is cute. It gives you a hint of the baby dragons. This one here is a Gronkle. And this one here is a Monstrous Nightmare. So I mean, I love the names. The names, the designs, the functionality. They're so good. Of course, there's Toothless. It's snowing in the background. Okay. So this one, if I could do this on my notes, is 22 minutes long. It was directed by Tom Owens. It was written by Adam F. Goldberg. And this one, not only is it heartfelt, but it's also hilarious. It's one of the funniest entries so far, I think. It takes place in the middle of preparing for the Viking Winter Holiday Snoggletog. So basically, the story for this one, after all the dragons inexplicably fly away, one of them unwittingly takes Hiccup for a ride, and then he finds out the reason they left the island is for the dragon migration. So that's why there's so many baby dragons in this. There's a whole island of baby dragons. This is one of the cutest movies in the franchise. I like how Fish Legs has a subplot too. He finds out his dragon, Meatlug, is a girl. He thought that the dragon was a boy the whole time, so I thought that was pretty funny. And the designs for the baby dragons, hold on, I'll see if I can find some pictures. Because they are so cute. I can't even describe the cuteness. The level of cuteness is just through the roof. Like ridiculously cute. So hopefully there's some good ones here. Photos. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Show me photos. There we go. So there's the Yak Nog. Toothless. Oh yeah, I was talking about the title. Early on, Hiccup has this hat, and he loses it. So that's one of the gifts that Toothless gives to him, but that's not the big gift. He gives him another gift. And it's so sweet, and it's so heartfelt. I get emotional every time. So, is it gonna show baby dragons? Oh yeah, it sounds like this funny gag with these eggs. There's a little secret about those. I don't want to spoil that. Oh, the one. That's a grunkle. Isn't it cute? That's the monstrous nightmare. You can see the baby there. Oh, more baby grunkles. Up to on screen. There we go. Baby grunkles. More babies. Aren't they cute? There's the monstrous nightmare. Oh, more babies. Ah, you can see some baby deadly natters there. Oh, there they are. More babies. So many babies. I think this is the first time they introduced baby dragons in the franchise too. So yeah, this one's 22 minutes long. And my grade, where is it? There it is. 5. Okay. I want to make sure I say the right thing. Mars. Okay, there it is. Yeah. My grade for Gift of the Night Fairy is large popcorn. So before I get to the next one, I'm just going to check the comment section because I haven't checked it in a while. Don't want to miss anything. Sabrina says you're welcome. Thank you, beautiful. Always appreciate my help from my beautiful assistant. She's got my beautiful notes here laid out. Just take that off the screen now. Okay. And let's go back. At number 4. I have, well, I'm going to leave this one right where it is. Number 4 is How to Train Your Dragon Homecoming. This is the third Christmas How to Train Your Dragon movie. So let's go to IMDb. How to Train Your Dragon Homecoming. This one takes place, okay, 10 years after the dragons left at the end of part 3. I'm back. Sorry about that. When did you lose me? Someone can just let me know when you lost me in the comments. That'd be great. Then I can just pick up from there. How far back do I have to go? So while I'm waiting, I gotta add this stuff back in. Sorry, here, hold on. Let's share screen. Okay. Now I gotta add this file for later. Oh, ignore that for now. Remove this. Okay. Add to the stage. Okay. So I'm not sure. When did you lose me? Do I have to start over with Homecoming? It just came to my attention that it wasn't working. Again, the beauty of live TV, but the show must go on. What's the last thing you heard me talk about? Just gonna go back to How to Train Your Dragon. So I think I should share in the screen. Yes. Okay. So let's go here. Beautiful poster. Just waiting for an answer. Again, sorry for the technical difficulties. Okay, I'm being told people are having a hard time getting back into the live stream. So I'm just going to give it another minute or two. Back up. So if you lost me, you should be able to see me now. Just remove this real quick. Here I am. So when did you lose me? Do I need to start over with Homecoming? I just want to make sure I pick up where I left off so people can like skip ahead when they watch the replay and get to the right part. I don't want to like repeat myself too much. So let's give it another minute. If someone in the chat can let me know when they lost me, that'd be wonderful. And you might be wondering why I'm wearing a Lilo and Stitch shirt. I'll get to that. It will make sense in time. Okay, so it's been about a minute. No response from anybody yet. I went off the air temporarily because my internet glitched out, I guess. But I'm back up and running again. Right now, Sabrina's checking to see where I left off. So thank you, I appreciate that. So I'll give it like another minute. Again, I'm sorry about the technical difficulties, but the show must go on. Okay. So I'm going to share the screen. Then I'm going to go back to IMDb and make a look at this poster. It's beautiful. So if I have to start over with the Homecoming movie, then that's fine. I wasn't that far into it anyways. Not a big deal. Gonna check the comments again. No comments. Oh, here we go. No, there's no comments here. Back to the poster. So just to recap, if you're just tuning in, at number 9, I have How to Train Your Dragon Snoggle Talk Log. My official grade for that one is a small popcorn. At number 8, I have Legend of the Bone Napper Dragon. My grade for that was a medium popcorn. Number 7, I have Dawn of the Dragon Racers. My grade for this one was medium popcorn. And number 6, I have Book of the Dragons. My official grade is a large popcorn. This one's a lot of fun because it's mostly hand-drawn, and I'm a sucker for that kind of animation. Number 5 is Gift of the Night Fury. This one I give a large popcorn because it's so emotionally impactful. It's got so much heart to it. It's a very sweet Christmas movie. Sorry, I kind of trailed off there. So my official grade for Gift of the Night Fury is a large popcorn. And then Homecoming, I was just talking about this one, but that's number 4. And my grade for this one is also a large popcorn. So we're almost through the list. It's just too bad we had that technical glitch.
Can you use Oscar the Dragon's Lust poetry? Kind of one black.
Okay.
Well, most of the screen.
Thank you. Okay. Cool. Now I know where I left off. It was 10 years after the dragons left in part 3. So this one spends more time with Hiccup's kids right here. These two. I like how the boy is blonde and the girl has brown hair. That's a funny little swap that they did. Same with the way that they combine the black and the white for these three, sorry. Adorable. But anyways, the kids are Zephyr and Ruffink. Zephyr's the girl. And then Ruffink. He's kind of curious about dragons, but he's unsure. He's kind of on the fence about them. But she is deathly afraid, to the point where she starts setting up dragon traps around the house, kind of like Home Alone style traps. And it's the funny running gag. The hiccup keeps getting caught in these traps. It's hilarious. That's another one. It's really funny. Like, I laugh out loud so much. It's one of those things that never stops being funny. So no matter how many times I watch this, it's hilarious. But it's also heartfelt too. You really see the connection between Toothless and Hiccup here. Spends a lot of time with these baby dragons too, so that's fun. And the animation. This has some of the best animation in the franchise. You can see with like the color schemes. And I'll get some of these pictures. Maybe I can show the preview if they have it. No, they don't have it. That's okay. Pictures. Oh, no, not this. Go ahead. Oh, did I click it? I think I did. No. Go ahead. Okay. Here we go. Pictures. So it was directed by Tim Johnson and written by Jonathan Groff and John Pollock. Sorry if I butchered that. So here's the animation. You can see the textures in like the leather here and the fabric, even the scales for the two dragons. The hair. It's really detailed. These are called night lights, a combination of night furies and light furies. Aren't they adorable? I love the eyes. They have their own little adventure in this one. It shows more of the hidden world too, so that's cool. That's probably an ad. You can see it's decorated for Snuggle Talk. The orchestra behind the scenes. There we go. There's the dragon family. There's the kids. I know that's so small, but there's the kids again. Poster. Okay. So the story for this one is it takes place in Newburgh, and this is the first Snuggle Talk there. And it's all about Zephyr and Roughneck, and Zephyr has this. Oh, basically they have this pageant because she's afraid of the dragons, and they want to make it. They want to paint the picture of what really happened during the first movie and why they live in harmony before they had to go. So it's really touching because the kids have a new appreciation for dragons, and they have this sense of wonder the Hiccup had as a kid, which is what was the point in the first place. And also shows how much Gobber was impacted by Philip's death in part 2, and how much he misses his friend. So, I mean, this one's got a lot of heart. You can really see the Christmas spirit in this one. So, those are a few reasons why I gave it a large popcorn. So, back to IMDb. At number 3, this might be controversial, but I don't care. It's my opinion. You can agree or disagree. I'm fine with that. At number 3, I have How to Train Your Dragon 2. Oh, if it'll move for me. There we go. How to Train Your Dragon. I know this one gets praised a lot, and it's good. But like I said, there are no bad movies in this franchise. I just have some issues. So let's go to How to Train Your Dragon 2. Let this load. Here's one of the posters for it. I put a different poster for the thumbnail. This is a good one too. And I'll start with the good things. This one does what a sequel should do. It introduces new characters, it introduces new dragons, it expands the world that they live in, and it shows different styles on how to train your dragons, not just Hiccup style. Because there's dragon hunters out there, and they have a very different method. This one also introduces Hiccup's mom, Volca. But that's sort of my issue. Oh, and the animation. I'll stick with the good for now. The color palette, beautiful. It's a little more muted than the first one, but you still have that sense of wonder. And this is a big improvement from the first movie. So let's go to some of these pictures. Oh, I could even show the trailer. Cool. Will it play? Oh, that's fun. Go away. There we go. Cool. You'll get a better sense of the animation with the video clips. The water looks so good. They also build these suits out of the dragon scales. And they make like these flight suits. Very inventive they do with the dragons. That's the Bewilderbeast next. We'll get to that. Okay, so this one. It was directed by Dean Dubois. It was written by Dean Dubois too. It stars Jay Baruchel, Kate Blanchett, and Gerard Butler. This one was made on a budget of $145 million. And it grossed $621.5 million worldwide. Oh, there it is. That's the Bewilderbeast, the ice dragon. Such a cool design. It's kind of like a woolly mammoth. But I mean, all the dragons are based off like real animals, or sometimes a combination of animals. Very inventive, very imaginative. So this one takes place 5 years after the original. So it really shows how society has grown with the dragons and how they live in harmony together. And it introduces a couple new characters. Like I said, there's Eret, and then there's the villain, Drago Bloodfist. He's got a complicated past with Stoic. Hiccup tries to be a peacekeeper. He doesn't want to go to war. And then he learns a very hard lesson. Because, like, halfway through, Stoic has this flashback where it kind of talks about Drago Bloodfist's backstory a little bit. He explains that he offered protection from the dragons if they pledged to serve him. So they had to bend the knee, and they had to, like, pledge to him and to, like, rule them and stuff. But they weren't having that. And the next thing they know, they get attacked by his dragons. There's the Bewilderbeast. Okay, and then the lesson he learns is men who kill for no reason can't be reasoned with. But I mean, this movie's much darker than the first one. So it's nice that it kind of matures with the audience. Even in the first one, Hiccup's like 15, so he's in his early 20s in this one. Same with the other kids. They've all grown up. It even points out how Toothless and Hiccup are the same age, which is a nice little touch. I thought that's cute. Inside of... okay, well, Volga turns out she couldn't kill a dragon either. And she kind of left the Viking society behind so she can live with the dragons. It's kind of her backstory. But that's where my issues get into. Sorry. Yeah, this is where my issues start. Because while this movie is beautiful to look at, I think it's way too convoluted when it comes to the plot. There's too many subplots going on. So barely any time is spent with Drago to get to know him. You don't really get a whole lot of time with Valka. You just kind of get told through like flashback what happened. Like You can see kind of her personality, and you can see she has this bond with the dragons, but we don't really know who she is beyond that. But there is this nice moment between Stoic and Valko when they get reunited, when he says, "You're just as beautiful as when I lost you." It's so touching, and it shows Stoic's humanity too. He's not just a heartless dictator. Kind of like in the first one, it shows his humanity. But I'll get to that. So Drogo is a one-dimensional villain because he wants power. But really, what's his motivation aside from power? Why does he crave it so much? And why does he train the dragons the way that he does? This one hooks on like animal abuse and really why you shouldn't treat them that way, which is a good lesson for kids too. Let's go back to the post. Actually, let's get some pictures. So that's basically the gist of How to Train Your Dragon 2. You can see the textures in the animation, even the hair, the grass, very detailed. You can see there's little detail all in Toothless's head. There's the Bewilderbeast, the alpha. This one also has the death of Stoic about midway through. There's Drogo Bloodfist, the villain. And I'm terrible with names. I forget the actor. I know it starts with a D. Hold on, let me just look at that real quick. I'm not sponsored. Go away. Yeah. Dejmon Hansu. He plays the villain. And Kit Harington plays Eret. He's another Viking. But yeah, he's a good voice actor. He fills the role well. I just wish he had more to work with. Because really, we don't know anything about Drogo. So a little, like, he doesn't have to be a misunderstood filler or anything, but a little context is nice. So, where was I? Here's one of the new dragons introduced. This is called the Stormcutter. Kind of like an owl. It can turn its head around. And it's got 2 different sets of wings. It's got 4 wings. Pretty cool. There's the kids, the villain. There's that flight suit I was talking about. There's a front view of it. He's kind of like a flying squirrel. There's Valka. She's on her dragon. There's the Deadly Natter. Oh, that's cool. Those are the Skuldrons. Okay. Here's some more dragons. Some of the ones that are introduced in this one. This one here is a Snafflefang. Sorry, this one here is a Rain Cutter. And I think these ones are the Snafflefangs. They also have Hobble Grunts. So I mean, I love the names. Yeah, that one's the Rain Cutter. There he is. Yeah, that's it for the pictures. And then I had questions about the Bewilderbeast too. The first one introduces the Red Death. And they explain how the Alpha controls the other dragons with like hypnosis, kind of. Which can make them act like according to their will instead of their own will. There's no free will. So was that what they were doing with the Red Death too? Was that why Toothless was drawn to that nest in the first one? Because he heard the call? She was hypnotized? And if that's the case, why didn't he grow all feral like he did in this one? That's how Stoic died. So yeah, that's what I mean. There's things that kind of contradict the first one, but they do their best with the continuity. There's just too many subplots. I mean, you got Volker's story, you got Eric's story, you got Drago's story, you got Stoic's story, and then you have Toothless' story. He's got his own subplot too. So that's like 5 different plots in this movie. And this movie's almost like 2 hours long. And also, there's a final showdown between the dragons, Toothless and the Bewildered Beast, but there's no like final showdown between Drago and Hiccup. So I felt like that was missing. In my opinion, this movie tries to be The Empire Strikes Back because it's so messy. It comes across more like Attack of the Clones. It also lacks the charm of the original. In exchange for action, it's got heartfelt moments, but it's not nearly as heartfelt as the original. So yeah, that is How to Train Your Dragon 2. My official grade for this one is large popcorn. And number 2, I have How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World. But before I get to that real quick, I'm just going to check the comments, see if anyone's saying anything. No, that's okay. Moving on. Just want to check. So let's go to the top. Oh, what is going on here? Okay. Am I typing? Here we go. How to train your dragon. Oopsie. 3. Will this work? Oh, okay, go down. There it is. Hidden World. I'll start with the animation. This movie is gorgeous. You can even see from the poster, the colors are so vibrant. The purples and the greens and the slight oranges and the red. And you can even see the texture from here. Toothless's head here. And the Night Fury is more smooth and slender. I mean, this was inevitable. They were going to come up with the female species of this dragon eventually. And I always thought that was strange. There's no way that Toothless is the last, of its kind. Because they do explain that in this movie. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. This one was written and directed by Dean Dubois. Most of the cast came back. Actually, I think they all came back. Jay Baruchel, America Ferrera, Gerard Butler's in this. Kate Blanchett joins the cast. And then so does F. Murray Abraham. He plays the villain, Grimmel. And I think Grimmel is a much better villain than Drago. He's got dimensions to him. He's also more tactical, too. He's cunning, he's fearless, he's patient. So, this one starts off with a rescue mission. And basically, Hiccup and his friends have all been going around saving the dragons from different dragon hunters and trappers and taking them back to Berk. But now the problem is, that was my dog. The problem is, it's overcrowded with dragons now. They're taking over, and there's no room for them. So they have to find a new place for the dragon. And then Hiccup remembers that his father told him legends when he was a kid about this hidden world of dragons that may or may not be a myth. So, right off the bat, this one's got a much simpler premise. Because when Grimmel finds out about Toothless, he becomes very interested in Burke. So his official name is Grimmel the Grizzly, which is an awesome name. This one takes place a year after How to Train Your Dragon 2. So there's a scene early on when a dragon breaks free, and I think it's the first time they kill a dragon on screen, but Grimmel does it. He shoots his crossbow. He doesn't even move. He doesn't flinch, nothing. Shows how cunning and fearless he really is. He's not afraid to take these things on head on. He also does a lot of deductions. He's a tactician. Is he going to play the preview? Here we go. So I'll just talk while this plays. I don't want to get dinged for like copyright claims or anything. So this one explores Hiccup and Astrid's relationship more. And like romantically, it gets explored deeper. To me, this movie's all mature with their audiences. Kind of like what the Harry Potter movies did. The characters are older because the filmmakers realized that as the movies come out, the audience is getting older too. So it's nice that it grows with the audience. And early on, when Grimmel introduces himself to Hiccup, I get chills every time. Just the way he looks at him and the way he says to him that you've never seen anything like him before. And he attacks with his dragons, which are called the Death Grippers. These dragons are awesome because these are like scorpions. They got tails and they have this toxic venom. But it's so sad too because Grimmel, he's drugging these dragons with their own poison. So he's brainwashing these things. They don't even know what they're doing. It's really sad if you think about it. This one's got a lot of epic battle scenes too, especially toward the end. And even like the design for the hidden world. It's got this waterfall that's like 360 degrees. We're in the middle of the ocean, and it goes into this cave, and there's crystals everywhere. You can kind of see it in the poster here. Maybe we'll show it here in the preview as it goes along. But ultimately, they decide that there's too much conflict between the people for their dragons and people to live together in harmony. They're causing too much drama. So it's just better if they go to this hidden world. And it's got kind of a sad note to it, but this has a finality to it. It really does feel like the end of a trilogy. There's the hidden world. Perfect. And then it does this epilogue toward the end where it flash forwards like 20, 30 years later. And Hiccup finds Toothless. And they have this really nice moment with Toothless, Hiccup, and then they both have their own families by this point. So they all get together. They have this nice little reunion. It's very touching. Let's see if I can show you some of the screenshots. So you can see they're a lot closer than they were before. Each one, they get closer and closer. So it feels more natural. Over time, people do bond. Oh, too fast. Oh, what is this? Okay, stop. Okay. So yeah, that's a cool shot. That's early on. He's got this fire sword. That was introduced in the second one, though. Cool shot. Okay. There's two of them. Even the bond, like how they start their relationship between the Light Fury and Toothless. It's so cute. They got these aerial sequences together where they kind of dance in flight. There's Grimmel. And there's the Death Gripper. Good. I was trying to show you that. That's awesome. I love that dragon. More posters. Okay. I guess that's all the pictures. That's fine. So, my official grade for How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is an extra large popcorn. I got a review here on Letterboxd if you want to read it. It's on the site. So, obviously, that means number one is the original How to Train Your Dragon. So, let's see if there's any comments before I move on. No comments, that's okay. How to Train Your Dragon came out in 2010. How to Train Your Dragon. One of my favorite things about this movie, aside from the animation, is the score. But I can't really play that for you. I play a little clip in the commercial for this show. So the commercial is available on my channel if you want to hear a clip of it. I just don't want to get dinged for copyright claims. Take a look at this poster. This is beautiful. I just wish that this scene was in the movie. When this happens, it's not nighttime like this. It's not as gorgeous. They do it during like dusk. No, sorry. Yeah, dusk. So it's still beautiful, but not as gorgeous as this. Wow. So this one came out in 2010. It was directed by Dean Dubois and Chris Sanders. So that's the reason why. Hold on, let's take this away real quick. That's why I'm wearing my Lilo and Stitch shirt today. Because they were the creative team behind that movie. And I think it's interesting that they have two live-action remakes for their movies come out in the same year. I don't think that's ever happened before. There's got to be some kind of a record. So let's go back to IMDb. This one was made on a $165 million budget, and it made $494.8 million. Wow. That's amazing. Okay, go back. Go back. So here's the synopsis. A hapless young Viking inspires to hunt dragons. Oh, go away. Not sponsored. How rude. A hapless young Viking who aspires to hunt dragons becomes the unlikely friend of a dragon himself, a young dragon himself, and learns that there is more to these creatures than assumed. So there's a few reasons why I love this movie so much. In the first 10 minutes, you already get the idea of like who Hiccup is, what this world is, and it introduces a lot of dragons right off the bat too. It also introduces the main characters. There's Rough Knot, Tough Knot, Fish Legs, Snotlout, and Astrid. That's Snotlout there. Fish Legs is the big one, the blonde one. There's Astrid. And I like how when you first meet Toothless, he's legitimately scary. They don't try to play him off as cutesy right away. That doesn't happen until a little bit later on. And you can see there, he feels helpless after a while. You do feel bad for this animal. And then even when Hiccup attempts to kill him, you can see the fear in his eyes as he braces himself and he gets ready for it, which is such a realistic reaction. I'm glad that they went that way. Instead of making him look all cutesy and make it all sad and cheesy, I don't like to make it all sugary sweet like that. I like how they keep it grounded. They keep it real. I already mentioned how the world feels. Basically, this is a father and son story. So I get why the remake came out when it did, because it's a good Father's Day movie. So about whether or not he should follow in his footsteps or if he should go on his own path. This one introduces a lot of the mainstays for the dragons too, like the Grunkle, the Deadly Natter, Monstrous Nightmare. It also introduces the first alpha, which is the Red Death right there. Good timing. I was wondering though, how did they get off of the island at the end? I just assumed that they just rode the dragons back. That's when they picked up the ones that they have, like in the later movies. They should have showed that at least. There's the Red Death. kind of like a Godzilla type dragon. It's kind of cool looking. But basically, Hiccup realizes that Toothless can't fly on his own because he damaged his tail. So he has to make like a prosthetic tail, and they have to fly together. Oh, there's another dragon. That one's called the Terrible Terror. It's kind of like a lapdog. I'm a sucker for small dogs, so of course I'm a sucker for small dragons. And I'm pretty sure that the writers of Jurassic World were inspired by this moment, where Hiccup puts his hand up to Toothless to rub his nose for Owen Grady's little hand trick that he does. They had to have been, because that came out 4 years after this. I thought that was funny. It's also got the hideous stiffleback. That's the two-headed dragon. It might show it here. What else? Well, that's basically the gist of it. It's got a heartfelt story. Very powerful. There's this moment where Stoic says that Hiccup isn't his son and he's not a Viking. But afterward, he kind of steps back, like he can feel the weight of what he just said to his son. So that adds another dimension to him. I like how Stoic's not just a one-dimensional character. He also has a lot of talks with Gobber about fatherhood, so it explores him a little deeper. He actually feels like a person, not a caricature of someone else. Oh, that's an advertisement. Let's go back to that poster. Come on. I like my mouse lagging. Here we go. Okay. And then the right off the end is really cool too. And the cool thing is the character development for Hiccup. As he's learning things about the dragons, when he's taking care of Toothless, he applies it to this dragon training school that he's been going to throughout the whole movie. So along the way, he teaches his friends little tips and tricks too, and things that even his elders didn't even know about for dragons. So he really does change everyone's point of view. Well, on this island, of course. In his village. And toward the end, during the fight, Hiccup loses his foot during the battle, which I thought was a really good message for kids too. Even though he lost something, he still gained something. And you could argue that what he gained was so much greater than what he lost. It's just a small sacrifice. And now they're more similar because he lost part of his tail and Hiccup has one leg. You don't really see a lot of like amputee heroes in movies. So it's really cool. That's how this one sets it apart from the others. And it doesn't really feel like when they were writing it, they had kids in mind for this. They wanted to make a movie for everybody. This is the definition of a family film. Because it's for all ages. But the flying shots are the highlight. The way they fly over the ocean, it feels like a roller coaster. I put clips in the commercial if you want to see those. And the end credits is cool because it's got like the Book of Dragons. Because this one introduces the book. And then you get to see a little bit more of it. And then the short came out later on. But overall, this is a very inspirational tale of humanity that was made for animal lovers. It's all about life, love, and loss. Trust and communication are also big themes. It's a simple coming-of-age story about discovery. And the whole movie has this undeniable sense of wonder. So the reason this movie means so much to me is because when it first came out, I was in a pretty dark place in my life. I just lost everything, like my apartment, my job, because I was battling addiction at the time. And I got in a new apartment, but this is before streaming services were really a thing. And I didn't have cable, I didn't have satellite. I just had a TV and a DVD player and a small stack of DVDs. And this was one of them. So I really used this to inspire me to move forward in life. And it really helped me with my relationship with my father. Because we were going through, well, we've always had hard times together. But it's getting better, and this movie is largely part of that. The first time I watched this, I was so moved by it. I watched it right away, immediately, like right after it. So twice in a row. I was just so blown away by it. Like, I don't usually do that for movies, but this one really struck a chord. Sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional. So gorgeous animation, It's got imaginative directing and very strong writing. Not only is it funny, but it's very heartfelt too, because it's got this moment. It's got this moment where Stoic apologizes to his son, and some people never get that some people never get that validation in life. And lucky for me, when my father finally did that to me, he said he was proud of me, and that he's proud that I'm his son. It really struck a chord with me because first time I saw this movie, that hadn't happened yet. And then after my father did that stuff, it really struck a chord with me because it's personal, you know what I mean? So when a movie can touch your heart like that, that's something special. That's why it's so relatable. Sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why we're having so many technical difficulties tonight. Thank you, Sabrina, for your comments. Sorry, everyone, we're having a lot of technical difficulties. Please be patient. I would appreciate your patience. Okay. So it looks like about 5 minutes ago you lost me. So I'll just do a quick little recap because it's already going pretty long, but there was those difficulties too. So if you're watching the replay of this, I do apologize again. You can just fast forward through those segments. I'll just do a quick little review about the number one pick, How to Train Your Dragon. It was directed by Dean DuBois and Chris Sanders. It was written by William Davies, Dean DuBois, and Chris Sanders. It stars Jay Baruchel, Gerard Butler, Christopher Mintz-Plasse. It's got Jonah Hill. It's got America Ferrera. It's got Craig Ferguson. And it's got, I said Gerard Butler. Yeah, I said Gerard Butler. Okay. Made on the budget of $165 million. It grossed $494.8 million. And right away, within the first like 10 minutes, it already established everything you need to know about this world, about Hiccup, and how this change needs to come for the society. It introduces his father, Stoic, and Stoic's friend, Gobber, which is kind of like an uncle figure to Hiccup. He works in the shop. There's a brief introduction to some of the dragons, too. So, gorgeous poster. I just wish that this scene was at night in the movie. For some reason, in the movie, it takes place at dusk. So the lighting's all different. It looks so much better at night. Such an iconic shot. Close. See if we can get the preview going. I've always wondered, were the writers of Jurassic World inspired by that moment right here for Owen's little hand trick? Here's the preview. The animation for the time is really good too. Uh-oh. Okay. I just don't want to get dinged for copyright claims. I like how when they introduced Toothless, he's actually legitimately scary. They will let you know this is a wild animal and he can strike at any moment. They don't just play him off as cutesy right away. Which is, this movie's not like super like cheesy like that, more grounded. And I've already talked about like how the world feels like it's a limp day. So the conflict between the father and the son is evident right away because Hiccup wants to kill dragons, but he just can't bring himself to do it. So he feels out of place. He doesn't feel like he fits in with society, which is totally relatable. Who hasn't felt like that? And I like how natural the relationship grows between Toothless and Hiccup, because he realizes that he accidentally destroyed part of his tail, so he can't fly on his own. So he made a prosthetic tail for him, and they work out their issues and they bond when they grow trust between each other. And as Hiccup is going along and learning things about Toothless, he applies it to the school of dragons that he's going to, like this dragon training school. And it shows a lot of character development and growth that way too, because he teaches things to the kids and even the elders that they didn't even know about dragons, proving how there's a whole misconception about who they are. And really, the flight scenes are the highlight of this film. Some of them feel like a roller coaster, like they are so exhilarating. And I mentioned the score too. This is one of the greatest scores of all time. I put it up there with like Star Wars and Jaws and Lord of the Rings. Phenomenal score. I put a clip in the preview for this episode. If you're interested, you can watch that. This also introduces the first alpha in the franchise, which is the Red Death, the one they just showed there. And the little one's called the Terrible Terror. I'm a sucker for little dogs, so of course I'm a sucker for little dragons. So here's that poster. Actually, let's look at some pictures. That's basically the gist of the movie. Not sponsored. Go away. Just gonna make sure I'm still on the air. Okay, I wasn't sharing my screen, was I? Shoot. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, put that back. Okay, now I'm sharing the screen. Sorry about that. Okay, so real quick, because I'm not sure if that was actually seen. If it was, you can just skip ahead as you need to. Sorry about all these technical difficulties. First movie is my number one pick. Hapless young Viking who aspires to hunt dragons becomes an unlikely friend of a young dragon himself, and learns there may be more about the creatures than he assumed. So if I can just find my mouse, here we go. I'll just let this preview play as I talk. So overall, this is a very inspirational tale about humanity, about life, love, and loss. You can tell it was made for animal lovers by animal lovers. It's also about trust and communication. Those are big themes they touch on. It's a simple coming-of-age tale about discovery, both of yourself and the world around you. And it's got this undeniable sense of wonderment. You just want to live in this world and learn all about these dragons because the descriptions are so creative. I love it. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, people. Not sure why we're having such problems tonight. So I'm just going to do my quick review of How to Train Your Dragon. I'm just going to stay on this screen to make sure that I'm still recording. And then what I might do is I might go back and like re-edit this video and then like post it again so I get rid of all the technical problems. Again, I apologize. I'll fix it. But anyways, the show must go on. How to Train Your Dragon is my number one pick. It came out in 2010. It was directed by Dean Dubois and Chris Sanders, hence the shirt, because they did How to Train Your Dragon. Thank you, Sabrina, for the comment. I do appreciate people's patience. The beauty of live TV, right? So this was directed. Oh, sorry, I said the directors. Written. This was written by William Davies and Dean Dubois. It was based off a book series. I mentioned that. I didn't read the books myself. I'm just going by what I've heard. Of $165 million and $0.8 million. Wow. Okay. So within the first 10 minutes, you understand who Hiccup is and the world that because it introduces his father, Stoic. It introduces Gobber, which is kind of like an uncle figure to Toothless, Not Loud, and Astrid. Also introduces a lot of the mainstays in the franchise as far as the dragons go, like the Monstrous Nightmare, the Gronkles, Deadly Adders. I've talked about those ones. I like how Toothless starts off as legitimately scary when you first meet him. They don't play him off as too cutesy at first. They let that naturally build. Same with their relationship. You really see the trust between. Interesting how the character development works out too. Because as Toothless learns things, Hiccup, he learns things about his dragon Toothless, and then he applies it to dragons too. They didn't know, and the elders. So really. So overall, this is a great inspirational tale about humanity, made for animal lovers by animal lovers. It also touches on themes of love, life, and loss. Because toward the end, there's this battle with this alpha dragon called the Red Death. And during the struggle, Hiccup ends up losing one of his feet. So it's really interesting because they don't usually have amputees as protagonists in has this undeniable sense of wonderment. I love how they explain these dragons. And like as they learn things, you see different sides of them and they get more cutesy as they come along. Some of them act like cats, some of them act like dogs, some of them act like other animals. It's awesome. So this is a great movie for Father's Day too. It makes sense why the remake came out the weekend that it did. It's all about father and son. Stoic is very resistant of who Hiccup is at first, and then gradually he comes to accept him. It's beautiful. Because it's got this moment, like toward the end of the film, where Stoic tells his son that Hiccup isn't his son, that he's not really a Viking. But then he takes a moment to kind of pause and he like hesitates. And he kind of like steps back because he realizes the weight of what he just told his son. And how much that might have hurt lost me. Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. So yeah, this movie has gorgeous animation. It's got imaginative directing. The flight scenes are really a highlight. It feels like a roller coaster. These scenes are so exciting. They're physically exhilarating. I get chills when I watch it today. It's got strong writing because it's both heartfelt and it's hilarious. It really is a must-see if you haven't seen it yet. So my official grade for this one is an extra large popcorn. So to wrap things up, at number 9, I have the Snuggle Top Block. At number 8, I have the Legend of the Bonekeeper Dragon. At number 7, I have Dawn of the Dragon Racers. At number 6 is the Book of Dragons. At number 5 is Gift of the Night Fury. Number 4 is Homecoming. Number 3 is How to Train Your Dragon 2. Number 2 is How to Train Your Dragon 3. And of course, number 1 is the original. So that concludes tonight's episode. Again, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. I'll try to, I'll rework it and I'll cut out all the parts and I'll might have to re-record some stuff, but I'll make it better. I'll make it more watchable for people. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Just want to make sure there's nothing else I want to say. Nope, that's everything. So, have a good night. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. And remember, is it how to train your dragon or how your dragon trains you? Who's training who here? Until next time, see you next week. Let's get the outro going. Oh no. Okay. There we go. There we go. Have a great day. Did you know that I'm a film critic for HorrorBuzz.com? You can read my reviews on their website, and I make frequent appearances on their YouTube channel, HorrorBuzz Live. So I'll leave links below for that too. Have a good night. I'll see you next week. Bye.